Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Rapid Fire for September 30th, 2014. I'm Ernesto Burden, publisher of Military and Aerospace Electronics, and I'm here with our chief editor, John Keller. John, welcome.
How you doing?
I'm not so bad. Just arrived back from National Harbor, where I was for a couple days with our Intelligent Aerospace media brand, visiting the ATCA event, ATCA 2014. You know that one, yes?
I don't, but I know National Harbor. I know easily it's probably one of the most inconvenient show sites around.
It was just fine. It was an easy shuttle ride in from BWI, and we were excited on the Intelligent Aerospace brand to announce a partnership with ATCA for the 2015 Intelligent Aerospace event in Amsterdam.
That sounds terrific.
Yeah, they're supporting us there, and we're happy to support them in all the work that they're doing in air traffic control.
Sounds good.
Anyway, well, let's jump into this here. You have three stories today about missiles, which is timely given the missile strikes that are in the news right now relative to Iraq and Syria. I see that Britain has joined the offensive as of today.
I guess they have, although I understand that they haven't fired a shot yet. I hope I'm wrong.
I think that they are now saying that they have destroyed several things.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Hope they destroyed things worth destroying.
Initial assessments were the strikes were successful and that they had destroyed an Islamic State arsenal and a machine gun-mounted vehicle, according to the Ministry of Defense. So, all right. Well, that said, we are looking at the first of your stories was Navy to replace Tomahawk cruise missiles fired at terrorist targets this week with a new order. They're replenishing them because of their usage.
Well, you know, I think it's very easy to say that that these missiles are direct replacements for the ones that are shot. In reality, that's probably not quite the case. What it is the Navy's placing an order for, I think, 231 Tomahawk cruise missiles, but it comes just at the right time when they've been expending several of the ship and submarine launched Tomahawk cruise missiles. I guess those missiles can fly for as far as 900 miles to target. You can change targets while those missiles are on the fly. They've got, I guess, some sort of a visual camera tracking navigation system, and they're supposed to be extremely, extremely accurate. They've also got a very big high explosive warhead on them, or also for softer targets, they've got a bomblet type dispenser with, that essentially floats nasty little hand grenades in, I think, on little parachutes. So those things can be pretty deadly.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and this is 231 Tomahawk missiles. That's a $250 million.
Yes, it is. Well, I guess a Tomahawk missile, they're effective, but they're not cheap. I guess I've read they've cost about $1 million a piece. Now, for this, there's probably, if you do the math, that probably comes out to a little bit more than $1 million a piece, but you know that includes things like research and development and upgrades and logistics costs and things like that. So, but the long and the short of it is that the Tomahawk missiles are effective. They're useful. They seem to be an important part of the bombing campaign on ISIS. And the ones that have been fired, they're going to be replaced. So it won't happen immediately. I guess that contract is going to take a couple of years at least to fulfill. But there's more missiles on the way, so that's good news.
Okay. And the second story you had here, Air Force Research Lab asks Leidos to redefine the state-of-the-art in aircraft missile defense. So we're replacing some old missiles, and we're looking to set a new paradigm as well. What sort of paradigm would that be?
Well, a new paradigm would be, you know, it's very anti-aircraft missiles are getting to be very, very sophisticated. They've got very precise guidance systems. They've got anti-spoofing capability. They've got radar guidance, laser guidance, and it's very difficult to defend against them. It used to be that the assumption was the missiles that you're going to go up against are going to be heat-seeking missiles, so you light off some flares in air to make those missiles go stupid. Well, it's more difficult these days. The Air Force Research Lab is looking to Leidos Corporation. It's a military defense researcher in Reston, Virginia. They're going to be doing some test and evaluation of some new kinds of missile defense involving integrated threat warning and countermeasures that include electro-optical, infrared, directional, and proactive countermeasures. So the whole idea is the Air Force wants to advance that state-of-the-art of aircraft missile defense to get U.S. and allied aircraft ahead of the power curve and have some reasonable assurance that U.S. aircraft can go up against some of the most sophisticated anti-air missiles in the world and still prevail.
Okay, which brings us to the last story. Lockheed Martin to build Trident submarine-launched ballistic missiles in a potential $828.4 million deal.
Well, that's certainly closer to $1 billion than any of these other contracts. Sometimes people think that the U.S. nuclear triad, which is manned bombers and intercontinental ballistic missiles fired out of silos in places like Wyoming and North Dakota, and the submarine-launched ballistic missiles, that the nuclear Cold War days are over. Well, it's really not, and I think the Navy has demonstrated very clearly the need for a nuclear deterrence force. It's going to be involve quite a few missiles. The exact number, I think, is probably classified. But what this means is Lockheed Martin is going to be building new Trident submarine-launched ballistic missiles. Going to be upgrading some others and coming up with some new technology. These are for the Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines. It always amazes me the power of these submarines. It's not something that we talk about really too much. But I remember as a kid, I think there was a episode of Star Trek called the Doomsday Machine, and it was about this great big spaceship that would destroy everything in its path. Well, here on planet Earth, these Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines are about as close to a Doomsday Machine as we've ever come up with. Now, a Ohio-class submarine can carry about as many as 24 of these advanced Trident ballistic missiles. I believe each of those missiles can have as many as 4 independently targeted warheads, which means you can fire one missile and hit 4 targets with it. Each of those missiles has a 475 kiloton nuclear warhead. Now that's something that can discharge the energy of 475,000 tons of TNT. It's roughly 30 times the power of the nuclear bombs that were dropped on Japan during the Second World War. So if you look at 24 times 4, that's capability to potentially to destroy, almost 100 large and medium-sized cities. So that submarine that's out on patrol with these missiles easily, by far, is the most powerful weapon system in the U.S. arsenal, and certainly one of the most powerful weapon systems that's ever existed. So rest assured that the nuclear deterrence force is alive and well and being maintained and upgraded.
Now, all of these things, just as a note to finish on here, all of these things that we've talked about today represent pretty significant investments. And I think we've seen a trend towards diminished spending on defense over the past several years. You wrote in one of your more recent blog posts that's on the website now about maybe a shift in that thinking, that you're hearing a drumbeat that is demanding an increase in at least some areas of defense spending.
Well, yeah, I think there is. I think there's a consensus that I detect in the Pentagon also in some areas of Congress, where the defense drawdown has come too fast and too much, and the U.S. national defense capability is substantially reduced, and it's the capabilities are probably below what bipartisan defense science boards and other authorities are recommending as a minimum for U.S. defense of the homeland and important allies. I believe that depending on how the midterm congressional elections go, there might be a growing cry for more defense spending to fill some of the gaps that have emerged. There was a time back in Ronald Reagan's day when we were talking about a 600-ship Navy. The Navy operates less than 300 ships now, and as a matter of fact, one of their goals now, 2 or 3 decades later, would be to have a 300-ship Navy as a goal. We'll have to see. What actually happens. But I think that there's a growing feeling that defense spending and defense capability, more to the point, has been diminished to dangerously low levels, and it's time to turn things around.
Okay, well, on that note, thank you very much, John. It's a pleasure as always, and thank you, everybody, for watching today. This has been Rapid Fire for September 30th. John?
All right. See ya.
Thanks,